Hang on, Mr. Douglas. Yeah.
Yeah, all right. Thank you for hanging. Welcome back. It's Chapter 7 of Ingo Swann's Secrets of Power, Volume 1. Today, 2 excerpts from that chapter, and Chapter 7's title, The Web of Secrets Preventing Access to Empowerment. So in the first excerpt, Ingo does a callback to Alfred Adler. Adler really touched upon a vein, not only in helping people out and reorienting them away from their perceived inferiority and powerlessness, but more toward a self-assertiveness, an assertion of the self, which in turn would provide more feelings of empowerment. Makes sense, straightforward, I love it. Thank you, Alfred Adler. Ingo also, however, brings up a very important fact that Adler recognized and started to shout, started to let people know about, which did not make the power players too happy. Let us tune in to this one. Alfred Adler, whose empowerment efforts have already been discussed, clearly put one finger on the machinations of depowerment. He indicated that a principal source of feelings of inferiority, and thus of feelings of powerlessness, were to be found not exclusively within the individual. The more likely source had to do with social environments that deconditioned empowerment not only among the masses, but even within given power structures as a whole. But with this, Adler touched only upon the concept of empowerment and re-empowerment, but not upon how societal conditioning toward endemic depowerment proceeds, and does so with an almost unparalleled and unexamined efficiency. Oh my! So here you have Alfred Adler actually pointing out that our feelings of inferiority might not come from within, but in fact may be coming from society itself. As if it were structured that way. And fun side note movie, if you haven't seen They Live, what you doing? Come on now, it's a goodie. While it is way more in line with the fun fringe, maybe not so fringe, sci-fi theory that we have been invaded and taken over, and our society has been co-opted to suppress us into simple consumers, it's right in line with what Adler here is saying, which is, yo, it's not you, it's the environment that you're living in. This environment has been cultivated to make you feel inferior, to knead into your doughy mind the idea that you are not so much at all, that you are inferior, which is, right? That is not the case. If you are living and breathing, you have power. You are an animated individual, an expression of something so unique and wonderful. And that is the last thing that society wants you to recognize. But how interesting is it that Adler touched upon this fact and started talking about it? Upset a lot of people. He got shut down pretty quick. And so we don't really think about how society itself has engendered that mentality. And I think if we look around, it seems like that engendering of that kind of mentality is in overdrive right now. Quick, pick a team, identify as something, or else you are nothing. And never forget, you're a victim. Ugh, give me a break. I'll take that Kit Kat bar. I don't just want give me the whole thing. Very important. Recognizing society has this stuff sewn into it and is attempting to sew it into us. Doesn't have to be that way. And the more we have this discussion, the more we stretch our awareness with this, the more we get to shape society with the cloth that best amplifies our power instead of suppresses it. Now, with Excerpt 2, carrying on and drilling down a little further in specificity, Ingo introduces this fact that, hey, how come in our modern era we have made encyclopedias of just about everything except power? What's up with that? But if absences of power schools might be identified, it can as well come to light that no encyclopedias have ever been compiled that list and describe the whole of known or suspected range of human powers and abilities. The existence of this important vacuum is almost never identified, and so individuals have no real way of identifying their own powers and abilities. This vacuum is exceedingly strange, especially with regard to modern scientific and psychological times. During those times, concise and comprehensive encyclopedias of seashells, slime molds, architectural edifices, of toys and antiques, and of distant star systems have been produced. Extensive encyclopedias of psychiatric and psychological disorder have also been produced, but no encyclopedias of human powers and abilities have seen the light of day. Right? Okay, so now, looking back at what Adler was talking about, how here it is in society itself, spending great time and energy in effect to have us feel inferior and carry within us this perception, this frame of mind that we in fact are inferior. And you have society doing all this breaking down of all sorts of interesting things like seashells and slime molds and mental problems, issues, illnesses, but not power and human power. We've went ahead and explored and expounded upon everything under the sun except, really, for human power, truly acknowledging the depth and breadth at which is already within us as a species as a whole. So if anybody is questioning, oh, come on now, society isn't that bad. It's not, It's not that it's bad, because we all make up society and we get to decide individually how we live our lives every day. However, for quite some time now, before anybody listening to this ever popped out, society makers were making society in a way that is instilling everything but the acknowledgement that we are already innately powerful. I want an encyclopedia of power. Come on, DK, where are you at? There is one little bit of extra that I want to pull from Chapter 7, where Ingo discusses two very particular points about depriving the masses of power throughout history. The situation looks something like this. Number one, powerless masses must be kept content and non-combative with regard to the powerful, in a mental state within which we are acceptive of the powerful. And at the same time, too, the masses must also be deprived of all knowledge that has any relevance to regarding how to become powerful. And it's not as if society has a full-on clampdown on all the information, because we're talking about it now. However, it's not promoted, it's not celebrated, it's not number one on the list of fun, it's not even on the list. I'm seeing a lot of really interesting things, though, breaking through the cracks. I'm seeing a lot of information, and maybe it's just the algorithm, but the algorithm is coming back to me and showing me a lot of great people, great individuals, talking about solopreneurship, talking about stepping into yourself and turning yourself into a one-person business, making yourself, optimizing yourself and your journey, your expertise, your particular expression of power as a way, as a guide, as a light in the darkness to show others how they themselves can light their own fire and spread the flame of power throughout the species as a whole. Just some of the people, and they're all over the place, but some of the people that are really pushing this idea that I have enjoyed recently are Dan Coe, Kieran Drew, Justin Welsh, Rob Lennon. I mean, these people are out there saying, hey, look, you can do this. You can do this, and now is, like never before, the best time to do this. To me, I say, we all got to start somewhere. What better place to start than with an expanded awareness and understanding of power as it actually is, both in society and within ourselves, which is why I am here with you today. Wild times, and they're only going to get wilder, but why not harness the wildness within us and empower ourselves all the more? Yeah! I'm feeling it. You feeling it? Check out those guys. Check out They Live. Check out ingoswann.com, ingoswann.com, to expand your awareness on the man and his masterworks, beyond the secrets of power. And when you're ready, when the audio version is out, let us take his words with us together as I narrate to you Volume 1 of Secrets of Power by Ingo Swann. Sending you those awakening power vibes. Let's all light that fire together. And I'll catch you on the next one. Thanks for hanging.